Afternoon, hope you're alright. Wobble Gob Wednesday, nearly forgot to do this today. I had quite a busy day today, so I'm actually going to sit and do some stitching while I chunter on. I know I've got webcam in front of my face, but anyway, probably better to look at the webcam than it is to look at me. Hope you're alright. Yeah, we had a bit of a manic day today, a bit manic, so I'd mentioned about things happening, things coming up. So I was interviewed, when was it, a couple of weeks ago by a lady from the Yorkshire Post magazine. There's going to be an article at some point coming out, which is quite exciting. They've been and done the photography today, which was interesting. Rearranging my room, make it look arty-farty. Luckily the guy had got an appreciation of textiles and vintage stuff. So he was quite excited with some of the stuff that was here that he could photograph. That obviously wasn't me. Haha. So yeah, I'll let everybody know whenever that's coming out, whenever if you wanted to have a read. Yes, that's quite exciting. Yes, it's been the holidays here. So for those of you that know that we've got a van, we've been doing van stuff. I've got to go, when I finish doing this, I've got to go and carry on using a very thin piece of wire to stuffing and insulation into tiny little holes, which I did the other day. Because I'd got to hold my hands in a certain place, it was actually hurting after a bit, so I didn't quite finish it. So I've got to go and finish that today, because Robert's been busy putting battening in the roof, and hopefully the solar panels are going to come so that we can get those done and up on the roof as well, which is kind of exciting. Oh, I've just realised I had got something to show you, which was my apron from Fabricology, because we had our meeting on Friday. But it's downstairs, so I'll have to bring it up on a different day. I need to do a bit more work on it anyway. We used aerial views as our theme, so I've done some stitching on my apron that's the map of where I live. So I got it off Google Earth, Google Maps, or whatever it is called. And yeah, so I was stitching that. I've still got a little bit more to do on it, but I quite like what I've done so far. It was one of those things that I was busy doing it, and I got to a stage where I didn't like it at all. But I know that I do that with things, and it's a case of just persevering and just thinking, right, favourite stitch, bullions, let's get some bullions on there, and oh, let's get lots of French knots, and you just keep on going, and eventually something clicks and it does sort of look okay. So I think I'm pleased with what I've done so far, but I think it's one of those things that I'm probably going to keep picking up and adding a little bit to as I go along. So just trying to think about what I've done since last Wednesday. It seems such a long time ago since I chatted to everybody. So we had Fabricology, so that was a very nice meeting. And then at the weekend we were... oh no, I went to Harlow Car. That's where I went. Oh, that's just reminded me as well. I did some videos of Harlow Car. So actually, that's just reminded me that I was going to add these to my Wobble Gob. So I was going to sort of like extend the Wobble Gob a little bit and add other bits and pieces in. So I decided while I was at Harlow Car I'd do some video in. So there'll be a few videos, and I haven't edited this yet, obviously. So it might be that you've already seen the Harlow Car stuff. Or it might just come after this bit. You know me. Just make it up as I'm going along. See, I knew I'd done something. Oh, that was the other thing as well. See, brain is now kicking into gear. I love Harlow Car, which is at Harrogate, and it's the Royal Horticultural Society's garden, and it's gorgeous. But I was mortified when I went this time, because where they have the allotments, there used to be, and I've always posted pictures of this, the most beautiful gardener's shed, a blue gardener's shed, and we'd gone around the allotments, and in my head I was like, oh amazing, I'm going to be able to video the shed and it'll be absolutely gorgeous. And we kept walking, and then we got back to the entrance, and I thought, oh, the shed has gone. I don't know where it is. I do feel like actually writing to them and asking them what they've done with the shed, because it was the most beautiful colour and it had old gardening tools in it, and it was the shed that I wanted at my house. And if they were getting rid of it, I'd have quite happily gone to collect it and brought it home. So the shed was no longer there, and I was really upset. I was glad that I found that out at the end of our visit rather than at the beginning, otherwise I might have just taken my bat and ball and gone home. So Robert and I went for a walk around there, which was lovely. Bumped into my friend Liz, who was also having a little wander around. So that was really nice. Had a bit of a picnic and a nice cuppa. And then, on the way back, we called at IKEA, like you do. What did we call IKEA for? Oh, that was it. Slats for the bed for the van, which then Robert found weren't the right ones, so we had to take them back. And then I'd been contacted. It was on the stitching hour. One of the members, see, I should have written this down. Pretty sure she's called Rachel. If you're not Rachel, I'm really sorry. Had mentioned about how she'd seen some 3D printed iron holders for the IKEA pinboard system. And she knows that Robert likes 3D printing. So Robert got a little bee in his bonnet. Well, I put a little bee in his bonnet, really. And he's come up with a little design for the little hobby irons. So that goes into the IKEA pinboard system. And then your iron clips into it. So you've got like somewhere for it to store. And then, I've set him off now. So it's then come up with a scissor holder as well, so it holds your scissors. That's kind of cute. And we're looking at bobbin holders and other different sorts of things. So it's a new collection of stuff that we're launching hopefully in the next few weeks, which is quite exciting. So thank you for that suggestion. It's given Robert something to really focus on. So I'd also asked him, because I've got a workshop this weekend at my shed. We're doing vintage stitched postcards, and he's making me some of the bobbin cards that you wrap your threads around. Don't think I've got one handy. So I have paper ones and plastic ones and wooden ones and all different sorts of ones. So he's making me some ones that all my stuff, it's going to be in yellow because it's my favourite colour. And then I've got a little bobbin logo that goes on it as well. So he's busy making me some of those as well. So that's quite exciting. So yeah, see, I thought I'd got nothing to talk about. And then my brain starts getting into gear. And then I do have something to talk about, which is kind of nice. Yeah, so I'm stitching a piece of work that I started in the stitching hour. This is part of my own work, which is my whole series. So these are wire rings that I've made that cut a hole out of your fabric, and then it just gets stitched onto the hole. So I did this technique first during lockdown, actually, with Debbie. There's Debbie Leyden workshop that she did these, I think she calls them eyelets. But you could use anything. It could be a washer or anything like that. I just wanted specific sizes, so I'm busy stitching 3 of these on. The background fabric that I'm using is the fabric that I showed a few weeks ago that I got online. And then, so it's all done in creams. And then I'm going to paint it and dye it so that it changes colour. And I'm planning on having 3 of them onto a piece of driftwood. But that's the plan anyway, so yeah. So I thought I'd just sit and stitch this and just chunter away. So I hope everybody's well. Hope you're alright. Weather here today, well, it's very weird. It's gone quite cold. The start of the Easter holidays were beautiful. It was lovely and warm and sunny, and we're out in the garden and got some gardening done. But this week it's like gone wintry again. Really, really cold and chilly. And wet. So you get bits of time that's beautiful sunshine, and then it's absolutely bouncing it down. So I was out in my shed earlier on and looked up, and the rain was going horizontally across the windows, and then the next minute the sun came out and it just doesn't seem to know what it is. If you're down south in the UK, I hope you're okay, because I know that there's been the edge of a storm that's been down there. I saw some images of Brighton and places down on the south coast, so if you are down there, I hope everything's okay where you are. I know it's like everybody gets really and I can remember when I was younger, we used to go to Scarborough and you used to go on the drive between North and South Bay, and you used to love it because the waves used to crash up on the road and stuff like that, but you don't actually realise how dangerous it is. It looks good, but yeah, it's not so good. I've just realised now I started stitching this over the top with the wrong colour. Oh well, it's all going to get painted and dyed anyway. So, Wellness Wednesday's Wobble Gob. Things that we're positive about. This is something else that I've been reading. I bought myself yesterday a new book, and I'm going to start a journal of writing things down, because it's the bit it was asking you to focus on was positivity, and that there are bad things that happen in a day and in people's lives, but there's also good things, no matter how small they are, and just by focusing on them it can just do your own mental well-being some good. So I thought, right, I'm going to suggest that you keep a journal for, I think it's 21 days, and then it becomes a habit. It'll be something that you keep doing. And I'm quite bad when I go to bed about messing with my phone, which it doesn't affect me going to sleep, because I just go to sleep. Touch wood, I'm saying this now, probably won't go to sleep tonight. I've always been quite good at going to sleep. I do like my sleep. I just thought, actually, I might do it when I go to bed. So I've bought myself a bright yellow journal. I've got a green pen, because that's positive. And I'm going to do a little bit of journaling each day. And if I write something down that's negative, something that's gone wrong, I've got to write 2 positives so that it outbalances it. But I do know that there will be days where there's probably more negatives than positives, but it's just about trying to focus on them. So today, positives. I got taken out for lunch, which was nice. So after the guy had been doing the photos, Robert and I went down into Brighouse. I had jobs to do, so I had to post some things and do my shopping. And so I just said, oh, we'll go out for lunch. I've been out for lunch, a little cafe in Brighouse called Fratelli's. I'm still trying to be good, so I had a jacket potato for my lunch. But I'm absolutely stuffed now. I can hardly move. I didn't even finish it all. So that was really nice. We sat and we had a chat. Didn't have phones out. She get distracted again. And we were chatting. A lot of the chat was about the van and different things to do with the van. But that was really, really nice. Other things that are positive. I went and had my hair done yesterday, and I quite like it. I do like going to my hairdressers. It's one of my ex-students, Zoe, who's my hairdresser. She's lovely. I've known her since she was 12. And I always love going. It's like you could put the world to rights when you go to the hairdressers. I know some people don't like going to the hairdressers, but I love going to the hairdressers. And one of my positives always from the hairdressers is having my hair washed by somebody else. I absolutely love having my hair washed by somebody else. I know some of you will be going, oh no, it's my idea of hell, but no, it's my idea of heaven. It's like having a head massage. Very, very nice. And what else? I don't know, I just feel kind of okay in myself, I think, at the moment. Oh, I've lost some weight. That's the other thing. Got on the scales this morning, lost a bit of weight. That's good. All going in the right direction. So yeah, so I think today's been, so far has been okay. I'm feeling a little bit virgin on there, but I think that's because this morning was so bonkers. I think my adrenaline peaked and now it's sort of going flat. I have to be careful when that happens, because that's when I'm more likely to go and eat lots of chocolate. Not that I have lots of chocolate in the house, because I know if I have the chocolate there I will eat it. But even though the kids know that I'm not eating chocolate at the moment, Harriet still bought me an Easter egg. So I'm trying to just eat a little bit at a time rather than sitting and eating the whole damn thing. So I'm going to finish doing this and then I'll edit it and get it posted. And then, as long as it's not too cold outside, I'm going to go and try and finish, as long as I can get to it, the insulation bit that I was doing in the van. So then that's that bit done. Because Robert's ended up pinching. So there's like certain jobs that I get to do. And one of them was I was stuffing the insulation, but because bits hadn't arrived yesterday and he hadn't got anything to do, he ended up nicking part of my job, which was a little bit annoying. But anyway, I'm sure there'll be lots of other things that I'll be able to do. So yeah, so if you fancy following us, we're on Instagram and it's Brooks_adventure. I'm just going to post things. Originally we had ummed and ahed about videoing, doing it, and I tried it. Apparently when I posted it to Instagram, basically all I do is say hello and get Robert to say hello, and then the video stopped for some bizarre reason, don't quite know why. And it was just way too much of a faff to be recording and then doing and recording and doing. So hats off to all those people that have videoed their van conversions. I can see it is like a full-time job. It takes forever and you just don't seem to get on with stuff, and I just want to get on with the van, so I'm just going to resort to doing pictures on Instagram. I might do the odd video on my YouTube channel at some point, but at the moment I'm just going to keep taking photos of us as we're doing stuff. So yeah, I think that's me. So you'll have either watched a few bits about Harlow Car Gardens, me wandering round, or you're about to watch them. I'm not quite sure yet because obviously I haven't edited this, so I hope you enjoy it. It's a lovely place to go, and I'm going to try and add some little bits of video in on the Wobble Gobs if I'm out and about doing anything or seeing anything that I think possibly could be of interest. But it might not be of interest. I don't know. I'm off out for lunch again tomorrow with the Fabricology Committee. So we're off to Hebden Bridge. Which if you've not had a chance to go, if you're ever up this way, I can totally recommend going to Hebden Bridge. There's Hebden Bridge and the Soby Bridge, which have all featured in Happy Valley and I think Last Tango in Halifax. I think there was some stuff from there. Things out of Gentleman Jack is all around this area. It's such a gorgeous place, but Hebden is just lovely. Lovely to go for a little bit of a wander. There's the Heart Gallery there. Lots of little shops, little boutique shops, loads of cafes. And it's just nice just to go and have a walk round. I love sitting in the cafe, especially when the weather's nice and people watching. I love just watching the world going by while you're having a cup of coffee. A few of the cafes that were there were on, is it Design Masters that Alan Carr presents? I think it was last season. Two of the cafes that were there were the two ones that the finalists did. So that was quite nice, going into those and actually seeing them after seeing them on the telly. And then if you like walking there, there's Cragside, which is National Trust, I think, the car park. But that's got a lovely woodland walk up to a mill where they do serve tea and coffees, but it's all powered by the hydroelectric power, I think. So they don't have like flash coffee machines or anything like that. You can get a nice coffee. Not a massive selection in the cafe, but it's a lovely, lovely little walk. Certain times of year as well, when you go on the woodland walk, there's loads of different types of mushrooms and fungi and things in the woodland. And then you can go climbing up on the rocks and stuff like that. So that's quite a nice little venture. So yeah, I think that's me just about done. Oh blimey, I have been talking quite a while. To say that when I started this I thought, oh, I'm not really going to have that much to say this week. I'm not going to be here next week for Wobble Gob Wednesday, I don't think, because I am in work all day doing an exam. Well, I'm not doing an exam. I'm sitting in on a 5-hour exam. So, yeah. So I don't think I'll be doing the Wobble Gob next week. So the next few Wednesdays it might be a bit hit and miss as to whether or not I manage to get a video done, because it's A-level exam season and I'm doing some extra hours at work just to cover the exams, and hopefully, fingers crossed, it all goes okay. First time I've done exams in 3 years, so yeah, a bit stressful at the moment, but hopefully it will come out the other end. So I'm getting to the end of my thread, so I'm going to stop talking. So I hope everybody's lovely, having a lovely Wednesday. What's your wellness things for today? What good things have been happening? Share them if you want to in the chat. And like I say, I won't see you next week, but I will be back, as Arnold Schwarzenegger used to say, at some time in the next few weeks. So love, hugs, happy stitching, stay safe everybody.